Oh yeah, I'm recording right now. Ryan, I do save my VODs. Are they a troll? Honestly, I don't know anymore.
Jiggle, 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 jiggle.
There has been a narrative going around that fascism is on the rise and VTubers are being used as the vehicle for that. Personally, I agree with the narrative. But let's see if Cringy here agrees or disagrees with fascism, VTubers being the new face of right-wing fascism. That is pretty nice art of Cringy here, I gotta say.
Hey guys, Kurinji here. Once again, bringing you the worst out of the Vtuber
Howdy,
community.
Race.
And before we get into today's topic, I'd like to explain to you guys a little phenomenon that is very popular in the VTuber community, as VTubing over the years has grown to such a size that absolutely everything will intersect with them at one point or another.
Hey, he's got a bit of a grasp of the concept of intersectionality.
We have culture appropriation dramas going on several
I'm
years
tilted.
back and even continuing
No,
to
I'm
this
pretty
day. And
stable
that's
in my chair.
part of today's video as well. We have drama about gender differences. We have drama about privileges between certain races when it comes to VTubers, as well as certain genders when it comes to VTubers. We've got
I'm leaning.
transgender issues going on in the VTuber community, and it's all.
Yeah, it's almost like the issues that affect real people also affect VTubers. Huh. Interesting, isn't it?
all very cyclical. It repeats itself from week to week, and it doesn't really stop, as VTubing is a hobby that pretty much is participated by millions of people these days. So it's not too outlandish when these things are brought up into the sphere. As weird as that may sound, it's kind of normalized, especially when you're part of the Ian VTuber community. When the English language community is involved, you get used to it. As weird as it may sound for a hobby or an industry that's so tied into entertainment, these things do indeed happen.
I'm trying to understand what the fuck he just said, but I just can't make heads or tails of it.
What's very rare, however, is all-out political discussions that intersect VTubers, especially when it comes to right-wing, left-wing, or centrist politics. That's not something I usually talk about as
Politics are not really something you usually talk about. Really? Let's see. Political there. This is talking over political disagreements because of a childhood game comment. This is actually a narrativization of what's going on. From what I've seen of this stuff that was sent to Pick Me, it was not actually fans of Pick Me that were doing that. It was like burner accounts calling her a transphobe. Because like I found one account, like a screenshot of an account calling her a transphobe, and I looked into that account. I found it. It had one video of birds dying. Yeah, that's a fucking progressive voice, not a troll account. Lolly defending stuff, which is totally political. I don't know anything about that. Suspended over baseball tweets. That's dumb. People shouldn't be suspended from their jobs over tweets, even if there are dumb shit. More lolly stuff. More lolly stuff. Oh my god. Calling a progressive a racist. I went over this one. This is just a dumb video that proves he doesn't understand politics. He just likes to say his narratives and act like a big brain.
My knowledge of these topics is quite limited, but when it comes to sniffing out bullshit, when it comes to seeing nonsense that borders on breaking common sense, I'm quite good at that, so...
Really? You know about common sense but don't know about intersectionality or how privilege can exist but not benefit every single person of a group? Really? Because that was the exact opposite impression I got from watching your last video.
So let's look at today's topic, as it intersects not only cultural appropriation...
Like, 2-minute preamble? Okay. Okay. Did he say his knowledge? Yeah, I don't think he has very much. He's more than welcome to come on and talk out our disagreements, but I think he doesn't want to talk. He wouldn't want to talk to me. Because, you know, he doesn't want to be proven wrong in conversation.
Racism, but also the rise of the supposed right-wing alt-right fascism in the VTubing sphere. Let's take a closer look. Okay, we really got to talk about
I do wonder what his definition of fascism is.
VTubers and take these folks seriously, because they have a massive platforms and are fueling a genocidal moral panic against trans folks via disinformation while performing yellowface and catering to pedophilic fantasies. This vid is a case in point. I think a 30-year-old woman doing the lolly voice for a living ain't really the position to be making fun of non-binary and trans people, but that's just me. This video is once again linking the infamous Fallen Shadow defense video where she...
Yeah, I personally saw that clip. That's one where she admits to doing not safe for work art of her lolly character or VTuber, as well as doing a Civ stream where she roleplayed as good Hitler, as if the Holocaust was the only bad thing Hitler did. Basically, I see a lot of overlap between Nazi thinking and lolly defense. It's not one-to-one, but holy fuck is it close.
She pretty much defends herself against harassment and several death wishes and death threats that were directed at her over a booba joke.
Okay, you gonna show the death threats? 'Cause I will condemn death threats. I don't care who they're towards. I don't condone violence towards people. Well, self-defense violence I condone, because that's kind of necessary to keep yourself alive.
Fallen Shadow, a lolly VTuber.
No, he doesn't. I would not be surprised that he doesn't actually show his stuff. Guys like him don't like to substantiate their stuff.
Just because of her appearance has been a subject of these attacks, and I have several videos about this topic at hand. Even quite the lengthy stream, so you can check that out. Moving on.
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't.
About the need to talk seriously about VTubers and how they shape cultural conversation, are important figures in media, plus micro celebrity. Tired of folks who've written this off as a niche and unimportant.
That is true. Been yelling about the need to talk seriously about VTubers and how they shape cultural conversations and are important figures in media and micro celebrity. Yeah, like these people that say you shouldn't have politics in VTuber spaces, they either don't know, they don't care, or they do care that they're pushing right-wing sentiments, mindsets, ideologies. They want to act apolitical, like this doesn't matter, it's all just silly fun and games, but no, it actually it helps shape the viewers' minds in their lives outside of the content they engage in. I mean, that's kind of how we grow as humans. We consume new knowledge, and then that helps us shape our perception of the world, like, seriously.
By the way, since this tweet is...
Also, what does this have to do with fascism? But I do agree with the sentiment that fascism's on the rise. I just know it's full of misinformation and obfuscation.
Is gaining some traction. Here's an earlier and longer thread I wrote about the need/want
I don't know.
for more
Yeah, me
writing and
either.
research around VTubers in media studies. We won't go into that other
Wells Lucas Santo.
thread, but
Come on, respond, Ryan. Wells Lucas. I'm gonna shoot them a DM after stream because they're I'm picking up what they're laying down.
as you can see now, people always have been trying to tie these weird woke leftoid talking points.
Leftoid, yeah, this guy's 100% a 4chaner. Like, it's undeniable, holy shit. Even if you didn't see his thumbnails that had, like, the 4chan logo in it, just listening to this guy talk in the mind rot.
Into VTubing in order to paint certain groups of people as evil, even though the issues brought up here have absolutely nothing to do with Fallen Shadow herself or pretty much most of the VTuber sphere.
What? You just... Yeah, what do you mean, you people? No, I don't care about that. He just completely missed the point of this thread because it's talking about how VTubers have an impact on their viewers in their real lives. Your viewers like your points of view. They like listening to you. They will repeat your talking points. It doesn't matter if you're a VTuber or a flesh tuber. It happens all the same with content creators and public figures.
Such a thing as yellow face when it comes to VTubing is completely ridiculous notion.
Yeah, I think the yellow face argument is stupid. Because, like, we're not characterizing or dehumanizing Japanese people by being anime characters. I mean, I can see where they're coming from when you do play in, or when you do add the history of blackface into online presentation, but I don't think it's inherently wrong for a white person to use a, let's go with Asian model. I don't think it's inherently wrong for an Asian to use a black model. I don't think it's inherently wrong. I think it would be wrong if they were doing that to make fun of that race. Because if you're just using a model of a different culture and providing positive representation of some form, what's the inherent problem with that? I'm more than happy to talk this out. Because, like, I do know there is actual damage done by blackface. I just don't think VTubers do the same kind of damage. I am more than willing to move on my point if I'm convinced otherwise.
These VTubers aren't doing this to pretend to be Asian. They're doing character roleplay for the most part. Those that at least participate in it that just aren't just themselves when streaming. They are just portraying characters. None of them specifically try to say they are Japanese. Sure, they may be taking some inspirations from the culture or other Asian cultures, or you know, not necessarily Asian cultures in the first place. Like VTubing is such a sphere where you can reinvent yourself in any particular way you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually have to agree with Cringy here. It doesn't matter, honestly. What I would consider is closer to Yellowface would be like putting on the accent as well, kind of like Guargura, where she does the little anime girl, the high-pitched voice, and puts on the Japanese accent. But, white. But then again, I don't think she's characterizing or otherizing Japanese culture when she does that. So, where is the harm of that? My big problem is that the big VTubers don't really talk about, the genocidal moral panic against trans folk.
You aren't limited to anything but the extent of your imagination. So painting them,
And that's why you're an anime redhead. Tempted to, like, if I wasn't so politically against him, I would lewd.
them as weird races that are trying to diminish, Asian people in some way, and making a big stink about all of this being racist is a pretty outlandish claim, I have to say. But yeah, this person, you may think, like, making such outlandish arguments, are they trolling?
Outlandish argument. No, that's not. You're just ignoring what people are saying over and over and over. What the fuck? My thoughts are on YouTube, and I am bothered to slap. Oh yeah, I'm recording right now. Ryan, I do save my VODs. Are they a troll? Honestly, I don't know anymore. Anyways, back to cringy line.
Well, you be the judge. Let's look deeper into this. Here's their profile on Twitter. Will Santo wants a better alternative. AI justice educator, critical race and digital studies, abolition and transformative justice, Boba SSBM, and anime hot takes, pan/B and B, she/he. And they have their own freaking website.
Are
as well as
you
a banner that says resist in the background.
confused by that?
And you go to their profile and you see that they have a portfolio. They even have a CV of their own, and they're an accomplished,
Yeah, I think this person likes boba tea.
apparently accomplished speaker on all of these issues, which is you know, pretty interesting. And considering there's also tied to STEM fields, I'm surprised that people with such opinions and you know, with such takes that you just heard from me right here, that they can have a job in the STEM field where they basically get carte blanche in order to accuse people of being terrible racists, and then they get to speak in front of the Youth Nations Youth Assembly, and people invite them in order to portray these hot
It is
takes
so hard.
as this person.
It is so fucking hard to follow this guy. Can he, like, keep consistent thought?
Person explained they have themselves. So, either this is a deep operational troll and I'm getting completely fooled, or the world has gone bonkers and intersectionality probably needs to be stopped at this point if it gets to that point. But
Okay, so you don't want to understand how the different ways that society helps and hinders people can interact with other people and to varying degrees, so that no one person experiences all the effects, but everybody experiences at least some. Doesn't make anybody inherently better or worse. It just is a way of analyzing interaction with the world.
that's just me, and that's my hot take. Moving on. Without
Hey, Sockdon left.
exaggeration, the face of modern fascism is Lolly VTube rigs, puppeteered by 40-year-old incel VTubers.
Truth.
Without exaggeration, the face of modern fascism is a small lolly VTuber making booba jokes and then getting harassed for it and sent death wishes and death threats.
Can you show the death threats? Because if somebody I know is making death threats, I want to, not interact or engage with them. Or are you just going to say there are death threats and harassments going on, when really it's just people quote tweeting and leaving spicy replies?
Endlessly. No exaggeration, folks. Completely serious. The fact that lolly spaces accommodate the far right, see below, shouldn't surprise anyone. If you ever spend time in the far right spaces or just look at 4chan, you see them filled with horrid shit like this. And here's Rev trying to pretty much debunk this SDL person's points, but trying to defend yourself against these weird takes, against these weird accusations. That's a far right talking point. That's the face of modern fascism right there. The reason the alt-right is adopting VTubers like Silvermane and Pikami as icons is because they're trying to corrupt these communities into rallying against their targets, the LGBTQ. Most don't see through that crap. Nazis don't care about your VTuber. They want that.
That is so fucking true. Like, honestly, how much did Cringy here talk about Pikami before Hogwarts Legacy and Pikami's graduation? Because on March 30th, he was posting a lot of violent memes. Like, it's time, remember what they took from us, get your guns, get the rope. Because some people told Silvermane that they wouldn't feel comfortable in her community if she played the Funny Wizard game. And others tried to pretend to be trans people and call Pikami a transphobe. And then people like you just started to spark outrage over it. But no, he's just going to deny it. Because he wants to perpetuate it. It's kind of his thing.
Does that. Just noticed autocorrect changed Silvervale to Silvermane. What the fuck? You'll know who I meant, the big booba alt-right anime waifu. You know, I won't dismiss one point, is that trolls and people generally wanting to mess with others will try to take the appearance of being fans of several VTubers that have nothing to do with their way of thinking, and they'll just basically try to portray them in the worst light possible, co-opting sometimes, but then moving on to other target where they can spread their trolling and their ideologies. But you know, it really isn't a hive for these kinds of people, because they will attach themselves pretty much to anything in order to make their trolling apparent to everyone. But again, Silvermane Pikami, alt-right anime waifus, apparently.
No, they've just been utilized by the alt-right because they refuse to actually comment on it. If they did comment on it, people like you wouldn't be clinging to your narratives that... Oh, this guy's dumb. But, yeah, this is why I'm bothered the big VTubers aren't saying stuff like, hey, you shouldn't attack people over anything, whether like gender identity or whatever. Hey, Alize. And it's people like this that just perpetuate the narratives in the VTuber communities. We don't have, we have some progressive voices, but we don't really have progressive voices talking about the VTuber community. We have some that talk about real life politics, but not really giving commentary, news, or insight on VTubers in general. And honestly, VTubers are a pretty big market. He never shows anything. VTubers are the new face of right-wing fascism. I can't. Yeah.
Many of us VTubers are against this trash and are very left-wing. We don't get pedo bags because I'd rather they all be jailed. They tend to leave when they discover they have a lot of words banned from chat. Won't even let them bring up this stuff. Hololive is right-wing. I agree. You really realize there's more than Hololive out there, right? Except the biggest VTuber company in the world, and thus the one with the most viewers, greatly disagrees with that viewpoint. Showing an image where most of Hololive VTubers and other VTubers that are of a significant size say that they're Shotacons and enjoy that kind of content.
Because they congregate together. Because kid fuckers like Nazis. Because Nazis will let kid fuckers do their thing. That's why I push back against conservative and right-wing narratives. Holy fuck this guy.
Yeah, you're mad at a big horrific corporation that markets horrible shit. Imagine lumping them with independent creators who don't. Not all of us are from Hololive, honey. And I wouldn't pick that life even if they wanted me. I mean, this bad and horrific corporation is the reason VTubing is so popular to begin with.
I wouldn't say that the corporations are why VTubing is popular. I think VTubing just took off on its own because people like anime. And VTubing is just anime that talks back to you. So, okay.
A lot of things have been popularized by right-wing friendly organizations.
Also, if you're still watching, send me the actual calling of Nazis. Don't just send me a screenshot that you got pissy over because of Wizard Game.
Patience. You know, the Hololive, the organization that promotes right-wing ideologies like racial purity, um, anti-LGBT rights, all that stuff these people believe is happening. That doesn't mean that the left wing can take them and use them for their own. It's technology, and given I dislike right-wing dumbasses, it's not like any of the people who like whole life like me.
Okay, I'm not going to be disparaging to his stepping through or reading through this. I'm just trying to comprehend this tweet. A lot of things have been popularized by right-wing friendly organizations. True, that happens in like every bit of media. That doesn't mean that the left can't take them or use them for their own. It's technology, and given I dislike right-wing dumbasses, it's not like any people who like Hololive like me. Honestly, I wouldn't say Hololive is right-wing. I would say they push for a political stuff where they just won't talk about it because they want to avoid controversies as much as they can. I mean, some companies play into controversies because they know it gets some clicks, but not everyone. I also hate how individuals being portrayed as an entire group and tweets don't even have likes. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, they spread the narrative like this is happening all over. It's a constant sentiment. And then the shit they show has no likes and 46 views. And it's like, oh yeah, this is a very broad sentiment. But honestly, there are more progressives than reactionaries out there. Like, I think last I checked, gay marriage was supported 60% in America, which is pretty fucking good. I mean, companies want to appeal to as broad an audience as possible. There are more pro-queer people than there are anti-queer people. So corporations put on the rainbow flag for Pride Month. They're appealing to the larger group of people. There are people that hate rainbow capitalism. I at least see it as a passive endorsement that we're the majority.
The next wave of bigoted violence is going to be driven by strange people pretending to be anime girls on the internet, generating outrage against marginalized groups. For engagement when it happens, I'm going to fill my pockets with stones and walk into the sea.
Hey, congratulations, Zane. You're in one of those videos right now.
The new wave of VTubers that are lollies trying to defend themselves from extreme harassment are gonna be starting waves when said VTubers properly identify their aggressors. But
okay, again, call out death threats. I will excise people that call for violence. Like, seriously, Ryan, this isn't calling people with Asperger's Nazis. Like, seriously. I don't get why you tweeted that.
this is that point where this person is gonna walk into the sea. And I imagine no one is gonna miss them. I certainly won't.
I quote tweeted that one too.
What is this weird-ass right-wing VTuber subculture coming up? Lolly fascist, my god, this is so bad. Twitter freaks is awful VTuber equivalent to the right-wing's woke. Both of
It absolutely is. I don't know if fucking Silvervale had intended it that way. Honestly, I don't think she did. I think she just said it out of an emotional response, but then hasn't properly addressed it. But Yeah, Twitter freaks is just the VTuber equivalent of Republicans woke. That's all it is. Same with V-tweeters as well.
Both are just attempts to avoid saying slurs. Also, how funny that she says 12-year-olds are being mean to her when her entire online persona looks and sounds like a 6-year-old just for the basement-dwelling pedo audience. Don't cast stones from a home of glass. And there you have it. The right-wing fascists are on the rise in VTubing via lolly characters, and nothing can stop them. Can we stop this wave of hatred against marginalized groups? We probably can't, because this isn't a problem that doesn't exist, and people that are so online, they will die in front of their computers before going outside and touching some grass is quite huge. And I hope at one point in time they realize how silly they are and they find a different hobby, just like I should. But for now, that's everything. I'll see you on the next one.
Well, thank you for that, Cringy. It was a interesting look. Interesting is a strong word to give one of your videos, but I will give it. Oh wow, that was Cringy. We should talk. Like, I just want to talk. I'm not going to insult you at first. I won't. I promise I won't make the first insult. How about that? I just want to hash out our disagreements. I wanna understand better. But I don't think they will really reach out to me.